Hey y'all. So good evening. I am coming on today for our second Tea Tuesday. So as everyone's coming in, I'm going to invite you to um, make sure that you invite your friends, your followers. Um, Thank you. We're running a little behind today. Deuce had a little event at his future school. So, we really just pulled back up. Luckily, the school is not far away. But so I'm just coming in. So I just finally have my tea. Is actually steeping right now. So, oops, dropped a little thing in there. I use hey Heather, thanks for joining. And I do invite y'all to share with your followers. Trent, can you bring me a spoon? Because the little string fell in. And it's too hot to stick my finger in. Hey, Cousin Calvin. So I do welcome you all. And I say hello to you all because, you come in, it's like you're coming into a room, so you're supposed to speak. So I know some people are a little shy about that. But today I had a request to talk about gluten-free junk food and snacks. So I don't, I always tell you all over and over that, well, let me introduce myself. Let me start back over because I forgot to do that. Now, everybody may know me. I'm Emerald Thomas. I'm a gluten and dairy-free lifestyle blogger. And basically, I blog about gluten and dairy-free, thank you, the gluten and dairy-free lifestyle. And so that involves my pregnancy. That involves, my life on the go when I eat out sometimes. That involves me cooking for the holidays, health and fitness, just different things. And like I tell y'all, even though I'm gluten-free, you gluten-free and being healthy. Hey, Mike and Anna, gluten-free and being healthy. Hey, Daddy, it does not mean, gluten-free doesn't always mean healthy. So I know some people they eat gluten-free, but they're not on a diet. They just maybe can't have gluten for some reason, whether it be medical or anything, or allergies or anything. So, or even dairy. So hey Kara. So I really wanted to come on and talk to you all about options for people who are gluten and dairy free or any other food allergy. So basically, I'm going to talk about the movies. So when you go to the movies, sometimes you may wonder, what can I eat now that I'm gluten-free, or especially dairy-free? Because I knew popcorn was gluten-free, but when I went to the movies, I'm like, is this real butter, or is this like a flavor? And I did find out most movie theaters have like a vegan butter, which luckily, depending on where you go, to different theaters you go to, you could pretty much know, even if in a different city, what AMC's what they all carry, or different places. So I eat the popcorn there because it is supposedly like a vegan butter. What else? And, vegan means dairy free. You can just automatically associate vegan with dairy free because vegan means anything without, it doesn't have anything with animal. So no animal product at all. So anything that comes from an animal is not being used when anything is labeled as vegan. So of course dairy comes from a cow. So if it's vegan, it doesn't have dairy in it. So when we go to movies, we usually eat that. There's a lot of candies that are gluten free, and cause though they're not healthy, hey Trent, they are gluten free. So if you're eating your little snack or that's your little day for your cheat meal, that's a great option for you. I know a lot of times the nachos, before I was dairy free, a lot of nachos were gluten free. So I used to eat the nachos and cheese, but I can't have that now because I can't have dairy. But if you can have dairy, that might be another snack. But as far as the candy goes, I know Skittles and Starburst, Sour Patch Kids, I know the original one is gluten-free. I'm not 100% sure about the new vegan one. I mean, the new tropical one. I'm not 100% sure if that's gluten-free. I have looked into it. I didn't see a label on the package when I was in the store. So that's something you want to look at. But a lot of the candies you'll see on the package, gluten-free, somewhere on the back maybe, if it's not on the front. And so those are some snacks that usually is good to go. Of course, water. And usually the slushes or the icy soda, fountain drinks, more than likely you can have that. You can double check with the manufacturers, but those are things you can find in most places, but it's just more expensive at the movies. So that's your options at the movie theater. and like so your little movie snacks. If you are, let's say for instance, you're going to eat ice cream, and I know if you follow me on social media, you usually would find me, you usually would probably see that like I went to this ice cream place called Sub-Zero, which recently opened up in my area. Hey, India. And so Sub-Zero had, they have a vegan option. So I told them, hey, I'm gluten-free and dairy-free. This is what I like. Is it fit into this parameter? Of course, they had a vegan cream, so to say. And then they had a vegan, and then of course, I made sure my flavors that I added was gluten-free. And I think I just added some fruit to it. And that was my vegan option. The texture was different than what my husband's was, but you know, it's still a good option. So if you're out with your family, or if you have a kid that can have it, because a lot of people's kids can't have gluten or dairy or both. So they may find themselves, you know, you don't want your kid to feel deprived of their childhood when you can bring the rest of your kids somewhere, or your cousins or something somewhere. So, you know, check into the ice cream shops. I know a lot of frozen yogurt shops also. I know Orange Leaf and like mint cheese and stuff, they usually have like two flavors that's probably like dairy free, and usually now a lot of places have all gluten-free flavors, but then when you get to the part with the toppings, that can be tricky. So definitely let people know ahead of time and say, hey, this is my issue, I can't have this and that, and then they usually will have an idea, or you can go for the fruit, which is usually fresh fruit for your toppings, which is what I usually do, fresh fruit and like nuts and stuff. But there's always a risk of cross-contamination, but luckily for me, I haven't experienced it. And I try not to go during like the busy times, so it can be cleaner. But those are some options, like if you want like ice cream, summertime is coming. Some more snacks. They have a lot of popsicles and stuff out in stores now that have a lot of fresh fruit, don't have artificial sugar in it. And then they're probably a little more expensive than your inexpensive popsicles you can get on sale now, because it's warming up, or in our case, never really truly cooled down here. So you may find those in the stores as well, but they have, make sure you share this. They have some different popsicles in the stores that's kind of like more health oriented, where it's like lower calories, no artificial sugars. So when you're in the stores, you may even find some deals on some of them, so you may want to stock up on that. And those are usually gluten-free. Of course, they'll say if they're dairy-free or not. Some other options, they have dairy-free ice creams. My favorite texture of dairy-free ice cream is the ones made with cashew milk. I really like those. I have found them in I found them more in Kroger and HEB. I mean, not HEB, Kroger and Walmart. And of course, Whole Foods, Sprouts. Hey, Brandy. But I haven't really found it in every store. HEB does have a selection of dairy-free ice cream too. So those are some things you can find, those gluten-free snacks. And, you know, and the calories are a little high because it's nut-based. But, you know, it's good fat. So you got to find your balance with that. Just like a regular pint of ice cream, you shouldn't eat the whole pint in one night. You know, so it's something to keep in mind for that, for, you know, when you want to eat your snack. So we did talk about the movies. So different snacks you can have in mind when you go to the movies. We talked about, you know, ice cream and ice cream shops and yogurt shops, and of course popsicles and ice cream. As far as chips go, so this was tricky for me because I did find out I can't really tolerate yeast. Now yeast is not gluten, but yeast is usually found in gluten products. But yeast is also found in gluten-free products as well. And I found out that I don't really tolerate it well, so I do reserve, you know, when I eat yeast, usually is when I'm eating a gluten-free burger. So I try to save that for those limited times, occasions when I do eat a gluten-free burger. But I found out yeast was in like chips. So certain chips that's gluten-free, they have a lot of chips that's gluten-free out there. They have yeast in that. So if you find out that you can't tolerate yeast well or sensitive to it or something, that's something to keep in mind to look at the ingredients and your chips. And then also, like, some chips have dairy in it and you might not even realize it has dairy. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Because I know, like, a lot of the Lay's chips are gluten-free, but not all of them are dairy-free. And so they're different. You have to really pay attention. Once you find your go-to brand or your go-to flavors, you can, if be easier for you to kind of navigate and you don't have to think as hard. But I have found a few brands that I like. Actually, I had a test done. Let me see what it's called. If I'm saying it correctly, it's IgG maybe. And that test, it's kind of like an allergy test, but it also tested about what I was sensitive to. So I was surprised. If I find my paper, I'll come back on and read it. But my results, it had like so many things I was surprised that I was sensitive to, which were healthy, but it just didn't agree with me. And so once I started to eliminate that, I noticed a difference in my health. I had to do like an elimination diet, and then I gave my body a break from it, and then I reintroduced it back into my life. And some things, slowly but surely, I'm trying to see if I can tolerate it. Hey, Mrs. Thomas. Yeah, your grandson is in the room. He's pretty mad at us right now. I'll tell you later. But so that's how I found out. I went to a holistic doctor, and she ran different tests on me to kind of get to the pinpoint, because I do have an autoimmune disease, and I know I mentioned before. And with the autoimmune disease, there are some things I think that triggers it and makes my symptoms worse. So she was trying to figure out what's the root of it, so my health can improve, and then eventually I could possibly get on like a lower dose of medicine or maintenance level of medicine and not feel so bad, which it did help a lot. Now that I'm pregnant, things are out of whack once again, but this temporary. Pregnancy is temporary, but for the most part, that did help, and it may have helped me get pregnant because my thyroid levels was better, and that affects your hormones and everything. But yeah, so basically, what else did I talk about with the snacks? Oh, I was talking about the chips and stuff, so definitely pay attention to that. But a lot of chips are gluten-free. Let's see, what else is there? Let's see, cookies. Now, the gluten-free cookies, those little calories can sneak up on you, because when I first went gluten-free, I was only gluten-free, not dairy-free. Yeah. So you might want to look into a holistic doctor. I know my doctor can help you even if you're not local. But if you can't find one, let me know, and I'll hook you up with her. But those gluten-free cookies, at first I was not dairy-free, so I just was finding something gluten-free, and they are pretty good. So a lot of times people can't tell when I make stuff that's gluten-free, and those, when I looked at the calories, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of calories. Like a little bitty cookie was like 200 calories. And so you really have to pay attention to that. It's easy to see it so small and think, hey, it's gluten-free, I can just tear this up. Especially when you are strictly gluten-free, you're not cheating, and you're eating your food and everything, and then you're like, hey, I haven't had a cookie or a piece of cake in so long, I'm just going to eat this up. And you don't want to sit there and eat the whole little container, because for one, they're not really inexpensive. And then two, you don't want to pack on a pound just from eating all this gluten-free stuff. So you do have to be mindful of that. My son, I have to hide them from him because he likes my gluten-free cookies too, and he would munch them up. And actually today, I baked some cookies. I was experimenting with a new recipe. Because, I did mention before, I am starting my Southern Belle Remix will offer gluten and dairy-free baked goods. And so, of course, I had my chocolate chip cookie recipe. I had that down pat, and I was trying to experiment with some more flavorings, just to offer y'all a variety, because we don't need just the same old basic stuff. I know a lot of us miss the good old cookies that your grandma used to make, your mom used to make. So, you want to treat yourself. So I was just playing with some different things, and my son ate most of them while they were cooling off. So next thing I know, when I bake stuff for clients, I'm going to have to do it when he's not around or something, or put him up high or something, because this boy, he was eating them up. Thank you. So yeah, I did that's what I am offering that now. And I know right now I'm focusing on local people, but I will fix it soon now he's happy again. I will fix it soon to deliver items to you all, because I know a lot of y'all live far away. He's happy again, y'all. But yeah, so that's basically it. I was just really coming on here to give you all some tips, some advice.
My son.
Okay, Deuce. I don't think they want to see that. But one other tip I'll do, since he did come up here eating some candy, I do want to make sure y'all know, and I mentioned this a few times in my other videos, pay attention to candy because there are some candies with wheat products in it, and you will be surprised, you know, what candies have wheat in it. And I never assume that because this brand makes something gluten-free, that all of their products are gluten-free. Like, for instance, I know Reese's peanut butter cups, I believe they're gluten-free. A lot of people in the gluten-free group that I'm in, and they were saying that, you know, for Easter candy, be careful because they found out that the original Reese's peanut butter cups are, but the Easter ones had something different in it. I guess, you know, to make the egg shape and everything. So that's something to keep in mind, especially for Halloween and all that. You know, you have kids come over, and I usually do a separate bucket with allergy-friendly candy. So if a kid come over and say they have a food allergy, I won't risk giving them something that may be contaminated, because you never know, for the holidays they might do something, a different formula to make it taste like a peppermint or you know, candy corn, and you know, and it normally is gluten-free. So, you know, that's something to definitely keep in mind. It's simple. Sometimes it's as simple as Googling it, or it could be as simple as calling the manufacturer and saying, hey, is this truly gluten-free? Is this truly nut-free? Is this dairy-free? And I've done that. Like, those of you who follow me back around Thanksgiving, and I did the Thanksgiving recipes and like the fried turkey, you know, telling you, had the recipe to tell you how to fry it gluten-free. I verified different ingredients, you know, was gluten-free before telling you all about it, because I wanted to make sure that it was gluten-free, you know, for you all, making sure it was dairy-free, because some seasons aren't gluten-free, some seasons aren't dairy-free, especially like the injectors, like the Cajun injector and stuff. So you definitely have to be careful, because you may not know it, you know, or they might have these big words in there that don't actually say butter on it, and you're like, what is that, you know? So you do have, sometimes you do have to do your research, but once you find your go-to products and your go-to brands, it's a lot easier for you. And I did find that sometimes baking things from scratch, I can control what I put in it, in my food, and it's easier for me to feel at peace knowing that, hey, it doesn't have whatever I don't want to have in it. So one day, you know, we can even do some cooking live, probably once my energy level is like way better. You know, I'm in the second trimester now, so I should be, you know, every week I'm getting better and better, well, feeling more energized. So we might do like a live cooking during the Tea Tuesday, where I show you some little recipes and quick and easy, because I do believe in quick and easy recipes. They can look like you spend all day, but that don't mean you have to spend all day, because I know a lot of us are parents, busy. Okay, I think my tea is finally, it might have been ready. So it's something to keep in mind. And actually, y'all can ask questions. Y'all welcome to ask questions. And even when this video is no longer live, you can continue to ask questions. You can continue to ask questions, and you know, I'll reply. You can email me, and you can even tell me something else you want to know more about. So next time we meet on Tea Tuesday, we can come and talk about that topic, because I know one of my friends requested that I talk about snacks. So, but I always want to point out to y'all that, you know, even though I'm pregnant, I still don't eat bad. You know, I eat gluten-free and dairy-free all the time, but I don't eat a lot of junk, because I know that, you know, it's still going to the baby, and I want the baby to have the best nutrition, and I don't think the baby really likes too many sweets, honestly. Like, you know, I usually like to snack on Skittles from time to time, and I haven't really felt like eating that. But I do want to mention too, like, go, and like I always tell you, and I'm gonna remind everyone pretty much every video, always prepare and plan ahead when you have a dietary restriction, because even if you look online, you can call a restaurant or something to verify. There was one restaurant I wanted to try that was fairly new, and I looked online, they said they had gluten-free stuff. When I got there, it's like, no, they don't. So maybe that location didn't have it yet because it was fairly new, or they just don't plan on having it. And I was like, dang, you know, especially being pregnant, I was like really ready to eat it. And so I was pretty angry Because I was like, I really wanted to eat that. So I think we end up going somewhere else, you know, so I can still get that fix for it. But, you know, it's just helpful when you kind of have a plan, especially a plan A, a plan B, just in case, because you don't know. You don't want to be stuck in a position where now you're starving, or, you know, you tempted to eat something that you shouldn't eat. But I definitely, you know, there's a few go-to places that I go to for gluten-free, like fast food, so to say. I like going to Chick-fil-A. I know some people have issues with their grilled nuggets. I don't know if they may have an allergy to something else in the ingredients, but I do okay with that. And the fries, the waffle fries, I do fine with that. But everybody's different, so, and everybody's tolerance is different for different things. But I do well also with Smash Burger. They have a gluten-free, and I usually do the grilled chicken. I tell them don't toast it, don't put butter on it, no cheese, and I just put the veggies and, you know, everything on it. Something else to keep in mind, certain mustards may have gluten in it, so, you know, be mindful of that. And so when you research the gluten-free menu, if you don't assume, if you see something, you know, then you say, I don't see mustard on there, but it should be gluten-free. It's probably not, you know. Different sauces, just be mindful of that. Red Robin, when I go to Red Robin, they usually, when I tell them, hey, I can't have gluten, I can't have dairy, they usually bring my stuff
at McDonald's.
Yeah, he like that, but I don't. I usually go, when I go to Red Robin, I usually tell them ahead of time. They have an app, but it doesn't always work on my iPhone. I've noticed that with Apple products, something like a cache or something that it have an issue with. So you might want to look before you go. But the cool thing with Red Robin is that you can click on your different things that you don't want, like shellfish, wheat, gluten, soy, dairy. Like, they have all these little things you can click on what you don't want, and then it'll pull up only the things that you can have. So they have different types of ketchup and sauces. They'll tell you which ones you can have. They're, you know, in the fries, they usually bring it out to me with no seasoning on it, but you can add salt and pepper or whatever to it. You know, so they have a gluten-free bun, or you can have it wrapped in lettuce. So if you want to be a little smart and say, hey, I don't want all those carbs,
I like cupcakes.
Okay, he's just rapping. And so, you know, that's some different ways and tips for you ordering, like even if you go to Red Robin, which I have liked lately because the baby does like potatoes, which is not too good for the carbs, but hey, that's one of the things that he or she tolerates pretty well so far. But so that's something to keep in mind. And that's basically it with snack foods, junk foods. I do consider the burgers and stuff junk food technically, because it's hold on, baby, it's, you know, it's not exactly the most healthiest option, but I just don't want y'all to assume that because it's gluten-free you can just pig out, because that's a mistake that a lot of people make.
I want a cookie, Mommy.
You want a cookie? Yeah. So yeah, and the cookie, I was trying to experiment with one flavor. I found some dairy-free caramels, which taste really good, but the thing I didn't like is that it came out extra gooey, so I'll keep experiment so I can come out with that by the fall, because I know people like caramel by the fall, you know, around the fall time. But the chocolate chip cookies are good to go. It's because, you know, that's what we all like. I'm going to try to experiment with some more nuts and stuff, but I know a lot of people have issues with nuts. Hi, Miss Dora. So that's really it. I'll give you some time to ask questions, and I do encourage you all. I have figured out how to do YouTube live, but I need subscribers, because that's the only way you'll know when I'm live if you want to watch me live. I will upload videos in the future to YouTube, just my YouTube channel. So if you want to follow that as well, it's Southern Belle Remix, and you can connect with me there as well. And I'm trying to, you know, I'm just trying different things to get myself out there, because I know a lot of people have a lot of questions about gluten and dairy free, and I believe that healthy food, or if you have food restrictions, it can be tasty and taste just as good. A lot of times people don't even know it's gluten-free until you tell them. You know, a lot of things they eat already probably that's gluten-free, and they don't even know. But as soon as they find out, they freak out. Okay. But, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. Maybe I'll probably do some fun, like, Cajun things, because I've been really wanting some boudin. I almost, like, I tried to get my daddy to go to Scott, Louisiana to get me some boudin. Because my friend posted, but he didn't want to do it. It's kind of far. But I might have to order some because I've been wanting some boudin from Louisiana. Back from our college days, we used to stop and scout on our way to Southern and pick up some boudin and stuff. So I kind of miss that. So we might have to make a trip to Louisiana to stock up. Or y'all can send some to me if you want. Because boudin is my boudin is usually gluten-free. The ones I usually eat are gluten-free. I verify first when I try a different brand, but usually on the package it'll say gluten-free. It is made with pork, so if you're not a pork eater, I usually don't eat much pork. The baby definitely doesn't like greasy food, so I will. Hey, Terica, I'll eat a pork occasionally, but I haven't tried boudin in so long, so I don't know the baby will like it, but I feel like eating it, so we'll see. I'll give y'all a moment to ask any questions about anything. And Deuce is eating up the cookies I put on the side for myself. But I am starting to take orders for cakes and cookies. And so if y'all want something, let me know ASAP so I can prepare and plan ahead, because I do move a tad bit slower being pregnant. So even if you don't want it today or tomorrow, if you tell me in advance, I could have it make sure I get you on my schedule. So I'll give you a last call for questions. I'll take a sip of tea to give y'all some time. And, there are some teas that's safe for pregnancy, and that's another thing, y'all. Make sure y'all tea is gluten-free. I shared an article in the past. I'll probably look for it again. Not all tea is gluten-free. So that's something people be assuming is gluten-free, and it might not be. So if you have a reaction to something like, man, there might be something. So,
bye. It's about bye.
Oh, please come meet your daddy. This boy. This boy.
Oh.
All right, y'all, but I will talk to y'all later. Since y'all don't have any questions, of course, you can always come on later and make a comment. I have to answer the door in a moment. So I'll talk to you later. Y'all have a great day. And please continue to share and follow me on social media, SouthernBelleRemix.com. All right, talk to y'all later. Bye.